5 tech bombshells just exploded across Silicon Valley in a single 24-hour window, and if you blinked you missed Wall Street rewriting the entire playbook. Meta is firing 8,000 humans on May 20th. Cloudflare just admitted its own AI made its workers obsolete. Amazon dropped $25 billion on a chatbot company. A worm just poisoned the global software supply chain. And Cisco posted record revenue, then axed 4,000 jobs. Buckle up. Bombshell number 1, and it lands Wednesday. On May 20th, Meta starts cutting roughly 8,000 employees, about 10% of its 79,000-person workforce. HR chief Janelle Gale confirmed it in an internal memo that leaked before sunrise. This is not a performance review. This is a structural amputation. And it is the largest single-day cull Zuckerberg has ordered since the brutal 2023 wave. Affected staff get 16 weeks of base pay plus 2 weeks per year of service. The number sounds bad. The real number is worse. Meta is also yanking roughly 6,000 open job listings, positions it was actively trying to fill. Add them together and the effective headcount cut is 14,000 people who either lose their job or never get hired. Total cuts under Zuckerberg since 2022 now stand near 25,000. That is one entire mid-sized American city. Gone from the payroll. Replaced by something cheaper, faster, and powered by GPUs. Why? One word. Superintelligence. Meta is reorganizing surviving teams into something called AI pods, reporting up through a new chief AI officer. Capital expenditure for 2026? Between $115 and $135 billion, almost entirely on data centers, chips, and frontier models. Translation: the humans are funding the silicon that replaces them. Zuckerberg is making the most expensive bet of his career. And the stockholders, weirdly, are cheering. Bombshell number 2, Cloudflare. Last Thursday, the CEO announced 1,100 job cuts. That is roughly 20% of Cloudflare's 5,000-person staff. The kicker? The company simultaneously reported a record revenue quarter. Stock still cratered 24% in a single session. Investors did not punish Cloudflare for losing money. They punished it for what management said next. Internal AI usage inside Cloudflare jumped more than 600% in just 3 months. Let that sink in. 600% more AI use, internally, in 90 days. Cloudflare basically told the world that its own employees were so successfully replaced by AI agents that the org chart needed surgery. Engineering, support, sales operations, entire layers became redundant overnight. This is the part nobody wanted to admit out loud. Cloudflare just said the quiet thing into a microphone. And every CFO in Silicon Valley took notes. And Cloudflare was not alone. The very same week, payments firm Bill slashed up to 30% of headcount. Upwork, the freelance marketplace, fired roughly a quarter of its staff. PayPal, Coinbase, all swinging the axe. In one 7-day stretch, more than 24,000 U.S. tech workers got the email no one wants to open. Across all of 2026 so far? Over 128,000 layoffs. That is roughly 1,000 human careers ending every single day. Bombshell number 3, the deal that just rewired AI economics. Amazon announced an additional $25 billion going into Anthropic, the maker of Claude. $5 billion is wired immediately. The remaining $20 billion is tied to commercial milestones. Add the $8 billion Amazon had already invested, and the company is now the single largest financial backer of an AI lab on Earth. This is not a partnership. This is a marriage with a prenup written in compute. Here is the kicker. Anthropic, in return, is committing over $100 billion to Amazon Cloud services across the next decade. Anthropic also secured access to up to 5 gigawatts of training capacity, enough electricity to power roughly 4 million American homes. Nearly 1 gigawatt of combined Trainium 2 and Trainium 3 chips is supposed to come online before December. The arms race for AI compute just left the launchpad. The exit velocity is terrifying. And the growth? Insane. Anthropic told the world its annualized revenue has surged past $30 billion in 2026. At the end of 2025 it was around $9 billion. That is more than triple in less than a year. For context, that puts Claude on a revenue trajectory that took Google search the better part of a decade to reach. The chatbot economy is not a bubble. It is a tsunami. And it is just past the shoreline. Bombshell number 4, a software supply chain attack so vicious researchers gave it a new nickname. On May 11, between 7:20 and 7:26 p.m. UTC, 6 minutes, a threat actor known as Team PCP detonated a coordinated worm dubbed Mini Shai Hulid. The targets? Tanstack, UiPath, Mistral AI, Guardrails AI, OpenSearch. Over 170 NPM and PyPI packages compromised. 404 malicious versions pushed to the internet before maintainers even saw the alerts. What did the worm steal? Everything you would never want exposed. Developer credentials, API keys, cloud tokens, cryptocurrency wallets, secrets associated with AI tools and messaging apps. 84 malicious package versions hit the Tanstack namespace alone. UiPath got hit on 65 packages. Mistral's PyPI was poisoned. Worst of all? It became the first documented case of malicious NPM code carrying valid SLSA cryptographic provenance. Even the trust signal got weaponized. OpenAI also confirmed a separate breach the same week, employee devices compromised, though the company insists no user data or production systems were touched. Pair that with the NPM worm and a single message screams from the rubble, the AI supply chain is wide open. Every startup that pulled a single dependency from Tanstack between May 11 and now needs to rotate every secret in their pipeline. Right now. Not Monday. Bombshell number 5, Cisco. The networking giant just posted Q3 revenue of $15.84 billion, smashing Wall Street's estimate. Hyperscaler orders alone hit $9 billion. Fiscal 2026 guidance? Up to $63 billion. So naturally, Cisco celebrated by eliminating roughly 4,000 jobs across Santa Clara County. Severance and restructuring costs are projected to hit $1 billion. Record revenue. Record cuts. The same week. The same press release. See the pattern yet? Meta record quarter, 8,000 cuts. Cloudflare record quarter, 1,100 cuts. Cisco record quarter, 4,000 cuts. Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and Meta together are spending roughly $725 billion on capital projects in 2026. That is a 77% jump over last year. Almost all of it flowing into data centers, custom silicon, robotics, and frontier AI models. Money is no longer hiring engineers. It is buying their replacements. Now layer in the second-order shocks. Lake Tahoe has less than a year to find a new power supplier. Nevada is redirecting electricity to feed booming data centers instead. Energy prices for Silicon Valley vacation homes are about to spike. Reports say 20,000 combined Meta and Microsoft cuts are the loudest signal yet that an AI-driven labor crisis has officially arrived. And a presidential hopeful just broke ranks with the tech billionaire class he used to court. Want a glimpse of who is winning? Google quietly released a new architecture researchers are calling attention is all you need v2 fixing catastrophic forgetting and memory degradation that have haunted transformers since 2017. OpenAI just launched ChatGPT for personal finance, letting users link bank accounts straight into a chatbot dashboard. Codex is going mobile. The interface to your money, your code, and your career is collapsing into one chat window. And that window is owned by maybe 4 companies. This is the truth nobody on stage at a tech conference will say cleanly. The artificial intelligence revolution is not creating jobs at the rate it is destroying them. It is creating capital expenditure. Massive, world historical capital expenditure. $725 billion in a single year, concentrated across 4 corporate balance sheets. If you work in a job that involves rearranging text, code, images, or numbers on a screen, your timeline just got shorter. A lot shorter. And the winners? They are not the workers. They are not even most companies. The winners are the silicon foundries in Taiwan, the data center developers in Virginia, the GPU designers in Santa Clara, and the small handful of AI labs sitting on the right side of the compute moat. Anthropic. OpenAI. Google DeepMind. Maybe Mistral, if it survives this week. Everyone else is either supplier, customer, or casualty. Pick a side. Today. So that is the 5-pack. Meta's 8,000. Cloudflare's confession. Amazon's $25 billion bet. The mini Shy-Hewlett worm. Cisco's billion-dollar restructuring. 5 hits in a single news cycle. Each one would have been the lead story in any normal week. Right now it is just another Tuesday. The pace is not slowing. If anything, the cadence of disruption is accelerating, and the only safe assumption is that the next bombshell is already loaded in the chamber. So here is my question for you. If the 4 biggest tech companies are spending $725 billion to replace human work and openly admitting it in earnings calls, what job, exactly, do you think is safe 5 years from now? Drop your honest answer in the comments. The cope, the optimism, the doom, give it to me. Whoever calls the next bombshell first earns bragging rights in the next video. Heavy stuff worth a second watch. Like and subscribe if you want more of this. We'll be back soon.